A lot of pickup artists and dating experts have covered this topic before, and they'll tell you nonsense like follow her lead, don't talk about yourself, and take the square root of the number of times she talked first and divide it by pi, and that's how you know when you should talk. Like, holy fuck, it's not that complicated. Step 1. Stop overcomplicating this shit. If a girl agreed to hang out with you, it's because you've talked to her enough that she feels comfortable enough to maintain a prolonged interaction with you. And if she feels comfortable enough to hang out with you for a few hours, it's because you do have enough to talk about, since you've obviously talked to her before the date. Talk about shit she mentioned over text, so you guys can actually elaborate on it in person and turn it into a full-blown conversation. That conversation will certainly lead to another topic, and it'll naturally flow from there. Step 2. Just talk. A lot of guys tell me that they have interesting shit to talk about, but they just don't know how to transition into those topics when they're out with a girl. Hey, when you feel like you need to take a shit, you just go to the toilet and do it. No preparation, no warm-up, nothing. It doesn't have to flow. If you are talking about dogs, but you suddenly think of a cool theory you read about, just start talking about it. Ask her what she thinks about it, explain it to her if she has no idea what you're talking about, and so on. You get the point. Step 3. Avoid interviewing the girl. What do you do for fun? Where do you go to school? Where do you work? Do you like it? Do you have a dog? What kind of dog is it? Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Nobody likes to be interviewed on a date when the whole purpose is to have fun and relax. Even I get triggered when I go on dates with girls and they start to interview me. Just start by asking her a question or two and letting the conversation flow from there. Instead of asking more questions, you should make statements and share your opinions. Conversations with a girl and conversations in general shouldn't be that difficult or scary. I mean, think about it like this. You literally have conversations every single day when you interact with people, and you've had millions of conversations throughout your life up until this point, so how bad can you really be at having a conversation with a girl? There's no difference in the dynamic. The only difference is that you're too stuck in your head and psyching yourself out about it just because it's a hot girl with big boobs. Besides, girls will willingly make the conversation flow on a date because they don't want it to be awkward either. So, the odds are heavily stacked in your favor. So like I said in step 1, stop overcomplicating this shit. Step 4, mention your hobbies and interests and then ask her about hers. This one is pretty simple. An easy way to do this is to take whatever you and her are currently talking about and connect it to a hobby or interest you like to do. This way, it's a more natural addition to the conversation and doesn't come off as you talking about yourself. From there, the conversation is typically pretty organic, and you can easily ask her about her hobbies or interests, if she doesn't begin to talk about them herself at that point. Bonus tip: make sure you wear a nice outfit that she'll make a comment about. This way, you make your clothes an easy conversation starter, and she'll perceive you as more sophisticated and interesting. I actually figured this trick out from going to the bar. Girls would always comment on the accessories I'd be wearing since they stand out and are unique. And if you're looking to do the same, then I recommend you check out our partner, Vincero. Vincero has luxury watches at super affordable prices. These watches will definitely get you compliments because of how sophisticated and detailed the dials are. You'll only get dials with that much detail on a Rolex or an Omega. But with a Vincero, you're literally getting a ton of details and paying thousands of dollars less than you would a Rolex. The watches I recommend you wear on your dates are the Silver and White Bellwether, their best-selling Silver and Rose Gold Chronos, the Matte Black Chrono, and their new Kairos Mesh watches. These watches are the perfect option to get the conversation started and have her compliment you on your style, so be sure to check the link in the description for a discount. Step 5. Dig deep. When you first start having a conversation with a girl, it's usually about the same small talk shit. But you want to get away from that boring shit ASAP. When you start talking about deeper topics, it's probably going to be more fun for you and it will start creating a connection between you. You will also figure out who this person really is, and as you grow older and gain more experience, you will be able to recognize patterns in human behavior and fairly accurately assess someone's personality without needing much information at all. But you can do that only once the person starts sharing their beliefs and hinting at their values. When a girl tells you where she works, ask her if that's her real passion. When she tells you what her major is, ask her about what fascinated her about that program. See what I mean? Step 6. Don't talk to basic bitches. If you're out on a date with a girl who's not very interesting, doesn't have a lot going on, and doesn't have anything else to offer other than her looks alone, then it may be difficult to hold a conversation with her. This is why I advise going for girls that are not only physically attractive, but also mentally attractive. Girls who have shit going on have real passions, hobbies, and interests. and who have way more to offer than just their looks. These girls are infinitely more fun to talk to, and keeping conversation with them will be really easy because they're an interesting person to begin with and they have a lot to say. Step 7. Make callbacks to things you teased her about over text. This one is simple and should probably be step 1, but I just thought about it and I'm only doing one take, so fuck it, it's step 5. Teasing is an important aspect of the interaction, and you need to establish that flirty vibe on the first date to make sure she stays interested in you. So an easy way to do this is to just bring up whatever you teased her about over text and tease her about it in person. In person, it'll have a greater impact and will establish that flirty vibe in person, which will only make her like you more. And since you already teased her about it over text, it's totally natural for you to bring it up in person and make your interaction a lot more playful and eventually sexual. And that's it. Told you this shit wasn't too complicated. In summary, don't overcomplicate this shit. Just start talking, avoid interviewing her. Mention your hobbies and interests, and then ask her about hers. Dig deep. Make sure you wear a nice outfit that she'll make a comment on. Don't talk to basic bitches. And make callbacks to things you teased her about over text. And don't forget to check out Vincero if you want to get a dope watch that'll get her to compliment you for sure. I'll have the ones I choose for you guys to check out linked in the description.